Hey, this is Marisa Murgatroyd, and I'm here in Congo Square in Louis Armstrong Park in the city of New Orleans, Louisiana. And I'm here because 6 years ago, I started a blog series. And it was supposed to be 6 videos, and I only did 2. And I'm a strong believer that it doesn't matter what you start, it matters what you finished. And this blog series was about something called emotional markets, based on a book that I read that inspired me called The Dream Society, how information is giving way to imagination and how that's going to transform our businesses. So Rolf Jensen, the author of this book, was a futurist, and he predicted like 30, 40, 50 years ago that marketing in business was changing away from data and logic and information to imagination and the stories that people tell, to sell their products and the self-identification that people have in choosing to buy products. And no longer were people going to buy based on information alone. They were going to start to buy based on the stories and the emotional needs that those products filled. And he identified 6 emotional markets. And each emotional market filled a different need in people's hearts and minds that caused them to want to buy this particular product or service. So 6 years ago, I started this series of featuring each of these 6 emotional markets in a different business or store in New Orleans. And I only got 2 through the series, and I wanted to come back and finish the remaining 4. Starting here in Congo Square for the emotional market of togetherness, friendship, and love. And there's no better place to talk about this emotional market than Congo Square, because starting in the early 1800s, slaves would come here and gather on Sundays on their day off, because everyone got a day off on Sundays. And they would gather all over the city. They'd gather in levees in people's backyards and here as well, until one day the mayor of New Orleans decided that, hey, I don't want these slaves gathering all over the city. Let's have them all gather in just this one place. And they chose this place, Congo Square, as the gathering point. And gather they would. Up to 500, 600 people would gather. They would play music, they would sing, they would dance, they would set up the market, they would practice voodoo, all in this very square. They would dance the Congo and the Kamlimba and the Juba and the Babula and all these dances, and people would come and watch. And it was those African influences that really formed so much of the cultural heritage of New Orleans, that formed, the Mardi Gras Indians, some of the jazz traditions, many of the African music traditions, all started here because the slaves needed a place not to just take a day off, but to come together and to create a new set of traditions and history and story. And this market of togetherness, friendship, and love is all about shared rituals and symbols and ceremonies. And that's what was created in this very square. And the really cool thing about the emotional market of togetherness, friendship, and love is it's based on rituals, it's based on ceremonies, it's based on symbols of coming together and having these shared experiences. And what Rolf Jensen was saying is that people are going to be gathering. They're going to want businesses and brands that bring them together around shared values. And the best businesses, the best brands aren't just about the product they sell, but about the tribe they form and bring together through that brand and the stories they tell based on wanting to consume whatever product or service it is that you sell. Because it's not about the product or service itself anymore. It's really about the shared experience people have and what it says about them when they choose your product over every other product out there. So togetherness, friendship, and love is one of those core emotional markets, those drivers, those reasons people gravitate towards you over someone else. So how can you bring people together through shared stories and rituals and symbols and ceremonies through your work? How can your marketing and your business stand for something more than just what you sell? So let me know in the comments whether togetherness, friendship, and love is an emotional market that you want to tap into through your business and through your marketing. And stay tuned, because I've got 3 more emotional markets to share with you. And in the very next video, I'm going to share the emotional market of care, which is one of the most emotional of the emotional markets, which is all about how businesses, it's not just about what they provide, but the way in which they provide it. The emotional delivery of services is so important today. And the place that I chose to convey this particular emotional market is super duper special. So remember, let me know in the chat how you plan to use the market of togetherness, friendship, and love, and go out there and live your message.